It really does seem like the next Nintendo console is very, very close. We've been hearing about it for a long time, and the rumors have started to pick up and up and up. And it does seem like next year is the big year. But now we just got a report from Video Games Chronicle, and there's about 5 or so main points that I want to touch upon on this video that go through the release, what kind of device this is, some things that are very, very good, maybe a little concern here and there, but overall, it seems like Nintendo knows what made the Switch extremely, extremely profitable for them, and they're ready to replicate that again. So, first thing, which is maybe the biggest thing, is the release. So, the release is expected to be the second half of 2024. So, not the first, which there was a lot of talk that it would probably be the first half. Then there was either a report, or I think it was a financial thing with Nintendo where it probably wasn't going to happen before like April. But then, May, could they release a system in May? It's definitely possible, but seems like it's the second half of the year. So then you would immediately, I think, go to holiday, like October, November, get the thing to sell absolutely insane over Black Friday period, right? All that stuff. So that's the first big thing, is second half of the year. Another thing that is really, really good is that it'll have cartridges. So it will support physical games. I'm kind of big into that. The more and more I talk about the whole physical media and preservation of games and all that stuff, it would seem weird for a console to release right now, 2023, 2024, and still not have some sort of, I guess, disc reader in this case, the cartridge thing. It would be pretty weird. The next generation, PS6, the next Xbox console, the next Nintendo one, would those have it? I don't know. Nintendo might actually be the only one at that point, but very good to see that it would have. And these are all rumors, by the way. I'm taking them as if they're going to be true, but I hope this one is true. This is definitely the 2024 thing, late 2024. Want that to be true. It'll read cartridges. Want that to be true. Let's throw in a little oddball one, or a little one that is probably not all that great, that we don't know yet, in that they don't know if it's going to be backwards compatible or not. That's kind of in the air. Like, the sources didn't really say, or they didn't really know. That's not great. I think it needs to be backwards compatible. I think a lot of people are expecting that. I saw a lot in the comments of really anybody, any article, Reddit, anything that's talking about this new Nintendo console, saying if it's not backwards compatible, it's kind of game over, in the sense that maybe they won't get it. Look, I think this thing will sell like hotcakes no matter what. They know what they have. They know what games are popular. They know how many people play the Switch. If you start everybody literally from zero again, and you can't even take over any of the games, and you have a game like Super Mario Wonder, and you've had these games in 2023, 2022, you just had Tears of the Kingdom, which, yes, people are still playing it and will be playing it for years, and then you tell people they can't play it on the console that releases 1 to 2 years later. That's a big deal, and it just doesn't seem like that's something that would happen modern day. Obviously, PS5 didn't do that with PS4. Xbox Series S and X didn't do it with the Xbox One. It does make a lot of sense that Nintendo would, I guess, follow that. So that's 3. The fourth thing is that you can dock it and you can undock it. So it does, that alone, if that rumor is true, then it pretty much is the spiritual success. Like, if it could be called the Nintendo Switch 2 for all I care, right? Because it would basically be very similar. That's necessary. I really do believe that's necessary. That is the sign, if true, that is the sign that, again, they know what they have. What are some reasons that make the Switch popular? Well, one of the biggest, if not the biggest reason, is the fact that it's a handheld console, bigger than normal, but it's a handheld console that also you can dock and play it, at home or away. It is a huge selling point. It's something that Nintendo has obviously kept for a long time, or that kind of theme has always kind of been within them, and they've just let it breathe with the Switch, and obviously it's done extremely successful. So I can't imagine. That's another one. It would be like the Wii U kind of disaster. If the next Nintendo console, you could only do one or the other, I think that kind of kills it, because the beauty of why the Switch is, at this point, it's going to be top 2, top 3 best-selling consoles of all time. I think a huge part of that is its accessibility of playing it at home, playing it away, and Nintendo just knowing how to do that better than pretty much anybody else. The fifth and final thing, and I actually saw a joke that made this very, very funny, is it would be going back to having an LCD screen instead of an OLED. So obviously the newer Switch has the OLED, and I saw a comment saying, yeah, it makes sense for Nintendo to do something where they basically reset it, right? They gave you the better screen, but for the next console, they're going to start you back at the old screen again, and then probably do, some sort of refresher one and have, well, it's not even a refresher because there's not much difference besides the actual screen, right? It seems like a very Nintendo thing to do, that, I guess. So that makes people believe, just that alone, that it's probably going to be real. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Now, all jokes aside, the reason that the sources are saying they're doing it is to keep costs down. They don't want people to have to spend too much money, and that's fair. This is, again, it's a handheld mixed with a home console. You have very limited storage space, so you're going to probably have to pay extra for more storage. They know, much like everybody knows, how expensive that is, right? So anywhere you can cut costs, I suppose, and make something cheaper, you're probably going to do it because the limitations of the console in other ways, and the screen is definitely one of them. So that's not surprising. Is it disappointing? Yeah, a little, but it's not. I don't know. It's going to sell like hotcakes no matter what, as long as, again, it's backwards compatible, and as long as you can dock it and undock it, the thing is going to do outrageously well. I'll get one day one. I'm sure a lot of people will get one day one, and we won't even think twice about it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next video.